My name is Mike Cardillo. I run the enterprise architecture practice for Lightwell, and I've been in the IT area for about 35 years, and I've been doing enterprise architecture for about 25 years. I've spent the last 10 years in consulting in enterprise architecture. I've helped companies with really kind of creating and running EA programs, as well as building strategies such as digital strategies, transformation strategies, and how we use enterprise architecture to really drive those things. Enterprise architecture is really about how you align your business investments, your projects essentially, with your business goals and objectives. And that is broken in most organizations. So I find a lot of companies have some high-level business goals and objectives, but then they're just launching projects. And it's really difficult to rationalize the projects against the goals and objectives. And what happens is they are not successful achieving those business goals and objectives. So one of the key things about enterprise architecture is to really help you make sure you're making the right investments at the right time, and that they're well aligned with those business goals and objectives. And that's really what we try to help companies do. And in most places, it's a real challenge because it's been broken for a long time and they don't quite know how to do that planning and business road mapping. One of the key things when we start with a client is to define enterprise architecture. And everybody understands what it is, but it really is key to get on the same page in terms of how we look at it versus how they look at it. I look at enterprise architecture as all about alignment to the business goals and objectives, that is what you're trying to achieve. There are technical aspects to that, and there are also business and investment aspects of that. Enterprise architecture should span that entire end-to-end process. So we define it as how do you look at your business goals and objectives, and then what investments you're going to make, which are typically projects, and how do we make sure those are the right projects at the right time. That's a key part of enterprise architecture. Once you launch the projects, then it moves more into the implementation, and there you're trying to make sure that the designs and the implementations are aligned to your future state, which you've defined in terms of technology and business, and you're trying to make sure that people are making the right decisions with the right information. And you really string all that together end to end, and to us, that's what enterprise architecture is all about. Many of the places that I go, enterprise architecture has been or is a very technical exercise, right? There's people focused on standards and designs, network things, and those are all important to enterprise architecture. It's important to have standards. It's important to standardize those things. But if you really think about enterprise architecture from an enterprise perspective, it's much broader than that, and that gives you much greater value. So again, back to the concept that this is about alignment to business goals and objectives. In our EA operating model, which is a core element of how we organize this, we have a whole section that focuses on doing the right things at the right time and the business planning component of this. Once you've launched those projects and you know you're doing the right things at the right time, then the more technical aspects come into play to deal with, are we aligned to our standards? Are we aligned to our patterns? Are people designing the way we want in order to get to our future state? And that's kind of the second portion of our model. And then the third portion of our model gets to how you actually operate those applications and systems and how you do that in a way that is again, aligned to your business goals and objectives. So it becomes a comprehensive model, and it's much more than technology. It's really about the design of the enterprise.